surprisingly lay nekk buga xam sa reaction ak loo noo mën a jàngate pour understand rek li xew recently this law issues diggante Ami Bensouda ak Kurang. Initially Ami Bensouda dafa threaten a legal action against Mamadi Kurang for defamation. Kurang tamit counter with another lawsuit, demanding 200 million. Bensouda Mamung don't demand, I think 114 or 44. I don't know. I cannot, but now figure out that amount. On a legal perspective, nahanga muna jangate this issue currently at hand.
Well, depending on Kilo, Mr. Kurang, directly is directed to this person, Mrs. Ami Bensouda. So why am I put back up? When they go to court, he'll be in trouble, obviously. But then, I mean, I'm the law no more way in me. Come, I think no more hene so them get hamli them in like you because more hamga bubulerma so them get hamli as far as I'm concerned this must he never been a tenant. Well, as far as I'm concerned, if the lawsuit is based on that, then I don't think there is any legal issue here. I know with all due respect to Mrs. Bensouda, this is the first time she is threatening somebody to shut them up in situations like this. Why Fagnane for a Gambian gay change. I know she's one of the powerful women in the Gambia, but them threatening somebody to sue them should be a last resort instead of trying to talk them out respectfully. The threat in this world right now doesn't go anywhere, definitely.
Well, all this issue emanated from the brouhaha surrounding the Yahya Jammeh asset, and all that. But eventually, let's assume that if these two cases should end up in court, what would likely to happen after all? That lead of a gonna drag issue be and all that.
Well, it could also be a distraction. I'm glad letting a lot of because government mom they have ways of distracting people from whatever is going on for gaining responsibilities in you. While listening you in that, it could be positive in so many ways because let's just say Kurang ne lumawa hamut ko ni and Kurang summon guy through court for new gain records. It could expose the body law right now. They are based on our intelligence, credible intelligence. They are trying to basically omit to make sure you minimize the damage that could happen. So it could be a good thing. You need them court and bagasi. So Mrs. Ami Bensouda needs to be careful because if you push a matter to court, more court. I know she has influence, but at the end of the day, right now, this 21st century, Lulu su ko wari push be Kurang tamin gaya when you summon go what court you summon go put mugini yenen records yo xamne ni Kurang lu mo wax dina ko ak yenen yo xamne na ko confirm. So it could be good to the Gambian people too, definitely.
Interesting times ahead, as many would say, on this matter. And well, I know we'll have more time probably next or some other time because you get a different reaction on this matter. But in a related issue also on all this Jammeh stuff, so I said, different groups are emanating. Gala, trigger all these, of course, actions. And all of a sudden, gis nañ tamit yeneen group bu mel ni youth in defense of the law ñoom imagine but of course the coalition of progressive Gambian is another group bi nga xamante ne ñu ngi ci réew mi di hold government accountable and government have a big stake in this whole issue. On a security standpoint lan nga foog ne lii tamit lan la mën a def wala indi ci dëkk bi.
Well, it's just simple. Xam nga kilifa so bëggee nit ñi fonk la da nga doo abuse ak kilifa privilege yi understand nga regarding this youths in defense of the law.
Yeah.
I believe there's na pour guy gina wa askan bala mo intention more than everybody wonder na they are front for the current administration. Lutamoli moy so whole from a psychological standpoint and behavioral analysis. Bugadon during the press conference, definitely it's been cooked. Because all they were focused on and kept re-emphasizing more pour one African minute gala lugay that was illegal. Definitely nyom hamon constitution that you also have to know the law. Because only in defense of the law, but then yangi buga mislead the public. Which, by the way, I want to make it clear, Mansuma family, we're not, and our organization are not going to allow that. We're going to join Gala. Because what Gala is fighting for is for everybody. However, Snake and Nyongnak, they choose to be puppet. They choose to stay in level where I'm going to that same family electing to that. I'm here to say, come security forces here right now. I urge them to join the legal and lawful fight. Look how many legal and lawful fight, because what that is fighting for is for the whole nation and for the future of the country. So, them nadal security within virus and health, based on links to youths in defense and movement, because they are misleading the people, and I can prove it now. They are misleading the people.
All right. Well, the whole situation and of course, like you said, definitely this youth group definitely press conference. Jema explain li len taxa jog ci li ma ci japp ñom dañ taxaw pour make sure the law is being respected. For example, ni guy apply joxuñ len permit and moy gala they went ahead to get to the streets pour ñom lolu andut ak loi. So ñom apply nañ dañ len deny and they still accepted. They want to go back and negotiate with the police and all that. So ndax comme ni nga ko waxee xëj na ñi dañ bëgg a distract nit ñi away from gala lu moo def and then bu loolu amee loolu lan la mun a jur ci réew mi ndax mun naa nekk any security threat because am na ñu ragal ne ñaari groupes yi mun nañoo confrontation te loolu mun naa indi some issues ci dëkk bi.
Oh, definitely. For meaning that they are misleading the people because some of Gambia, they have a tendency of even policies misleading or misinterpreting the law. Like, for example, like the 72-hour rule, they are misinterpreting it. Oh, it's our, we have the authority to keep you for within 72 hours. But I believe in section 22, either chapter 10 or 11 in our criminal code, subsection 1, yes, if you report a crime to the police station or whatever, yes, they are obligated for them that their initial investigation. So upon investigating, there is no further evidence to support then you want to buy immediately. They will not waste the time. However, but upon that investigation, further evidence shows there's a probability within the 72 hours. So lum means from now on have be several times. Come like for example, you take smaller job on a drug, right? When you have a drug, okay, this is a crime. They have reason. I have reason to believe that you have more at your house or obviously. Then the reason that law bi jox la doole boobu noonu su ko defee doo mun a call keneen or doo mun a dem kër pour yaa evidence boobu noonu vice versa su nekkee ne comme ñëw nga report si ne dafa am ku la dóor ma gis yaa ngi gaañoo there's a probability that a crime has been committed so da ngaa dem for the investigate so da ngaa ne loolu yëpp ko abuse so same thing mu ñëwaat si this public order act they are abusing it because Chapter 5 of the Public Order Act Mulawa control of procession, more control for you march to demonstrate. So they had no reason whatsoever to arrest these people initially because the power was so much. Public order law, if you want to march down the street, either block or maybe use PA system or whatever, yes, you do need a permit. And see, in that process, you can be arrested. So
Yeah.
initially, all would agree Gala, then talk with a plus.
Okay, ML in that regard nga baal ma su ma mënoon a laajte lii because as ni nga ko explain xëy na sax waxoon nga ko tamit ne xëy na waruñoo deny guy permit but this permit issue continues to be a bone of contention ci ñu bari léegi gaala ñu mujjee génn ñu jàpp leen ok arrestin bi yaa ngi ko wax ne mënut waratoon mën a am but ñu am na ñi nga xamante ne dañ jàpp ne in the initial stage sax waruñoon génn parce que dañ leen deny permit so this issue of permit the constitution lii la wax but the Criminal Code Act be lila wax so that interpretation remains to be the center of this issue ban leeral nga mun a indi ci loolu and then pour xëj na because da ngay dégg léegi ñu argument bi ñu ne non waruñoo génn parce que loi bi dañ leen joxuñ permit am na ñu wax ne non ba mun nañoo génne parce que constitution bi daf leen may that freedom of expression pour ñu mun a ñëw ñaxtu lañ bëgg a ñaxtu against the government so lan nga ñu mën a leeral ci loolu.
waaw xam nga public order act bi gars yi dañu ko dee abuse depuis time Yahya Jammeh like I said comme ni ñu abuse 24-hour rule bi because man laa wax section 5 boobu noonu control of procession ne yes dëgg la bala ngaa génn pour dem su nekkee da ngaa dem march pour block traffic bi Amadou yes you apply for a permit waaye si permit bi nag pour any reasonable person mën laa wax ne su nekkee ne either the IGP or a governor of that region understand or someone else authorized by the president mun naa comme mun laa wax ne mun naa dafa seet na make sure that there is no security threat around this right but then to satisfy there is not likely come pulling out in a cause breach of the peace. But now let's just look at the situation here. Kinyona, mo andi lakay, mo la ne li leen bëgg def dañu bëgg match ba fi ñu joxe li. Boy, any reasonable party never believe ne ki ñëw pour yaade ka bi, ñëw pour breach the peace. Am I not right? So subsection boobu noonu mun laa wax ne su nekkee ne dafa ko contrôler mooy you are supposed to give them comme condition boo xam ne ni ok nii ngay def time bi nii ak nii su ko defee doo block traffic bi waaye time bi how about so lépp négocier la xam nga loi bi nekkul black and white su nekkoon loolu la nekkoon yàlla tey ñoom seen bopp si biir ñu nekk si government bi la yàlla di timpa every day because ñu ngi mandi every day ñu ngi julli xam nga yàlla mun naa wàcce ne dina waxut lii so more I want to law is not black and white. You have to be reasonable. So you say a leader of the security or leader of a government, put a whole, think outside of the box. The family armor say such about senior Melanie, Suma for favor. Namakoga Seti. Why you because in Lawane, wow, Dina one and such about so we talk and talk, so talk bull them, right? Why? Because you're not fear, Yanko one. No, bull them because of Hamal. You got taxi linen for security reason, whatever. I have on the field motor. So how about so go ahead? Oh, okay. Like you have my driver, so Benayon, must say to Wallace I so make a bull motor. Okay, Ninja motor must say to Wallace I so Benayon, must say Nakala. I'm not going to win and win. Yanko control without her knowing the Yanko control. Yeah, they have to more them. They have to more them. So this is section 5, you want you then I want to get you will make sure that so if you know what the security threat am na ñoo xam ne ñu ngi si biir dañoo pour yaa su ko defee you are right there as security personnel pour nga control situation bi am na right so moo tax ma la ne ñoom dañoo ñànk si dara rek ne public order baa ko wax waaye suñu waaye everything you do am na yoon bi nga jaaree pour génn fa so they have no right pour arrest no legal grounds ñoom sax wax nañ ko pour them arrest me for talk because they were not violating the law. So in this case, comme you knew the group, so they deny permit, you them the march, the block traffic. Yes.
All right.
Broken the law.
Okay. Maybe
they were sitting down, exercising their constitutional rights, and
Indeed.
they got arrested. So which brings me back to this youth in defense of the law. So they can for no what I get attack policy respectfully, you broke the law. Why don't you look at with different lack for mislead ask them Mohammed they don't know anything about the law because same interview you they call sir how many we have criminal codes. Low they get constitution. So like the guy question, they get dismissive. They even dismissive or where they new approach. For law balanga new the form movement. Nanga am target.
All right.
Come galabin def ñu machine target.
Okay.
So if lu mëna expect fi moy. So you are there in defense of the law. The first approach being def moy ne how about people being illegally arrested? People being their constitutional rights are being violated. Ñata nit ñoo nekk ci prison bi tay without due process, without even seeing a judge for how many months. Ñaata prosecutor ñoo nekk di abuse fii IGP bi ñaata yoon fii police yi ñi ngay def di ko junjaat criminally laa wax de they proceeded under the rock. That is breaking the law.
All right.
Them arresting these people illegally is breaking the law. So if you say that you want to fight, you are in defense of the law. Those are the first things that those are the first things that you need to address. So why don't you insult the intelligence of the Gambian people? You want to wow, then you're engaging. You already know our issue in the country. More people's rights being violated, they are not being prosecuted properly. Evidence are being fabricated. They have no connection, no physical evidence, no forensic evidence to tie him to this case. Police officers are lying in court. Those are the things that I expect them to focus on. Why not come out here try to insult the intelligence of the Gambian people?
Okay. All right. Well, Lerna, maybe on a final note, maybe you might want to talk about the role of government in all this issue now, because I mean, Gala as a youth movement, how put the accountability on how these assets are sold, the looted assets are coming in Kowahe, and you have another group being Hamilton, they are pro-government or whatever. They are here for the law to be respected in defense of the law. How ban taxaway la nguur mëna war la nguur mëna def in this to make sure that everything is in control wala mu dem kon ni mu wara démé ci situation buñ nekk, because we are talking about the police and bo waxé police bi rek do ci mëna génné government. So ban taxaway la nguur mëna wax nguur mëna def in this situation as you speak. Finally, ML.
It's simple, Mr. Kante. That guy they try to manipulate situation. This is 21st century. You make the advice in good way or president way. You mindset it 1900 because every move that they make, there are people like me out there who would analyze it, assess it, and break it down. And in this case, instead of focusing on the factor, because that's their default setting, cover, and the more you cover, the more you look stupid. How about do the right thing? Hold on, Ibrahim, that president in Burkina Faso. Because that is the beauty of doing the right thing. Because of he's doing the right thing by his people. Not only his country is supporting him, but the whole world. Even the Kabul accused us, you send Bob, send me, but when I have the beauty of doing the right thing and taking care of your people instead of manipulating the constitution, manipulating the laws here and there,
Okay.
And we are not backing down. So my advice to them, especially the security forces, so they can continue to leave or send worse than no problem. Be our guests.
All right. Thank you.
If you want to join the team legally to fight the legal team, to find the legal fight that we're fighting, please join us. It's legal. It's your constitutional mandate to defend the Constitution. We don't need youth in defense to come defend the Constitution. We all have a mandate to defend the Constitution as it is written in our Constitution. So the more balance and health, government will start doing the right thing. So we don't press about it. The first thing we want them to show faith. Put these people, ministers who are allegedly involved in this corruption scandal, on administratively. On unpaid administrative leave. But I think so guy access for new influence or compromise the investigation. But right now they are compromising the investigation because they're using their position to compromise the investigation.
All right.
So my
all right. Jerejef, thank you very much. Amna solo, and I know as the situation it is interesting times ahead. There's much to talk about.